Hello, everybody. Here we are on our second phase of our four-part series, The Four Agreements. It's based on that book. Highly suggest spend, I think it's like maybe $8 on Amazon, something like that. It's nice to have. I know Stacy really likes it too, kind of something she keeps on her bedside table. Same here. It's a nice way of going back and reminding. Mine's full of highlighter, so to remind myself of these things to keep in the back of my head when life happens, you know. So the second agreement is don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality and their own dream, which if you read the book, you'll the dream part, you'll understand more. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. That's a real lot. But to break it down quickly, and then we'll hop into our meditation. When it comes to don't take anything personally, that phrase sounds real basic and real broad if you really think about it. We have the power to influence each other. And so, like, say your friend lies to you. You will typically have that feeling of anger or frustration or disappointment. But also, if your friend is sad, or yourself, of course, another person, hugging that person can make them feel comforted, loved. So there is a power that we all hold. But then, on the other side of this, there's that power of when people, it's easiest, I think, to explain that when people say things to you, even if they're not actually directed at you, sometimes we take that into our head and we make it about us. And that causes us a lot of frustration and sadness, and it's just not good for you to do that. And however simplistic that sounds, it is sometimes very difficult to separate that what this person says isn't necessarily about me. Isn't that all about our ego? I mean, we really do that a lot. I know I do. I mean, I'm human. So we have to recognize that and accept the differences between each of us. All of us are different, and what's important to us is different, and how we interact with each other is different. And what others do think, because obviously there are people out there that are maybe not so nice and say things that are, ugh. But understand that what they think, what they say, that is, as an auntie of ours says, that's their business. Even if it is at you, you don't have to take it in, you don't have to own it. So to work through the second agreement, the best things that I can tell you to try to do is to do like a self-acceptance type practice, whether mostly in meditation or just like you don't have to sit on a block necessarily and om for your meditation. You can go throughout the day, and when those things kind of come in at you, pause and think about it and think, what is true here? Find that truth. So we want to take a pause when somebody does say something also. And a really great way of kind of counteracting that is to ask questions. So you could do the, tell me more about what you're saying. Could you explain that a little bit? And then maybe your perspective of this is about me will change, and you'll maybe have more understanding of what they're saying. And you'll find that truth, which is kind of the end all be all of it all, to have people, when you hear things, you take that in as being about you. You need to recognize yourself. What is the actual truth here? Like, what are, yep, I have these feelings about it, but what is the truth? If you assume somebody's saying, oh, you're not very smart, and they didn't actually say that, let's think about what they actually said. Let's think about how we turn that into our own problem and sit there stressing about it when we don't need to. So, and share your emotions about it. If somebody says something, you can, be brave about it and just say, gosh, when you said XYZ, I really felt hurt. And maybe that'll start a different dialogue where you understand maybe it wasn't about you. It was just an opinion of someone else. And then we move right along. And maybe you don't. Maybe you say, ooh, wow, you really did mean that. And then you don't have to internalize it. You don't have to believe what they say to be true. Right? An opinion. Opinions are totally different than truth. So let's hop right into our meditation. We're going to brief meditation, so go ahead and take your seat, block, bolster, chair, whatever. Lay down if you need to. Hands wherever you're comfortable. I'm going to go ahead and either find a drishti, just focus on something, or close your eyes and start some deep breaths. We'll take 3 breaths like we usually do, and we'll just go ahead and get started, okay? Go ahead and find your stable sitting position, taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. On that exhale, we're relaxing our shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Continue one more deep breath, relaxing our body. Now return to your regular comfortable breathing. Concentrating on just relaxing your body and following your breath. Bring yourself to your center. Find a nice calm place. Imagine yourself sitting wherever that place is for you. It could be somewhere quiet in your home, somewhere outside, by the water, whatever that place is for you. Find some calm and peace there. I want you to think about, has someone said something that has hurt you? Whether it be recent or deep in the past that maybe you're hanging on to. Let's think about that and what feelings that brings up. want you to think about, how did you interpret what they said to you? What did it mean to you? How did you feel? Think about those feelings. Now I want you to think about what you know is true about yourself in comparison to what that person may have said about you, or that made you think something negative about yourself. What do you know is true about the person that you are? Let that wash over and wash away any negative feelings that you have attached to what someone else has said. Now we'll have a mantra of 3 simple phrases that I want you to use when these things come up again in your life, because they will. And remember these phrases. This is your way of practicing self-love. I will say each phrase, and I'd like you to repeat that to yourself out loud or inside your head, whatever's comfortable for you. I am loved. I am whole. I am worthy. I'd like you to continue bringing those phrases up and keeping them in the back of your mind throughout the next week or longer. And use them when you feel as if you are being hurt by someone, or someone thinks something negative about you. And also remember to use them when you are thinking or saying something negative about yourself. And remembering that you don't need to have an attachment to the words of others. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and blink your eyes. Maybe roll those shoulders. Bringing your hands to heart center. I appreciate you spending this time with me today. Remember that you are loved, you are whole, and you are worthy. When it comes to negative things, my favorite phrase to use when people say things that aren't nice, or when I'm feeling not great about something that I've said to myself, bless it and release it. Let it go. Don't be attached. Bless and release. All right, everybody. Thank you for practicing with me. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. Namaste, friends.